There's a part of you that you don't know, a part that holds your deepest desires, hidden fears, and untapped potential. It influences your thoughts, your decisions, and the way you see the world. Yet most people go their entire lives without ever confronting it. Carl Jung, one of the most influential psychologists of all time, believed that true personal growth comes not from success, achievements, or external validation, but from understanding the hidden depths of the self. He argued that most people are not truly conscious of who they are merely playing roles dictated by social expectations, personal fears, and unconscious habits. He also argued, only after one has intimately confronted oneself can one truly find happiness. But what if you could break free? What if you could unlock the parts of yourself that have been buried, reclaiming your full power, creativity, and potential? Jung's philosophy is not just about understanding the mind, it's about transformation. He believed that within each of us lies an unfulfilled greatness, waiting to be discovered. But the key to unlocking it is not found in the external world, it is hidden deep within the psyche, in the realms of the unconscious. To understand this, we must first explore one of Jung's most revolutionary ideas, the concept of individuation. Individuation, according to Jung, is the process of becoming whole. Most people go through life fragmented, torn between their public persona and their true nature. They suppress parts of themselves to fit into society, to be accepted, to feel safe. But in doing so, they lose touch with who they truly are. They become strangers to themselves. Jung believed that the path to unlocking your true potential begins with integrating these lost parts of the self. And the first step in this journey is confronting the shadow, the hidden, often repressed aspects of your personality. The shadow is everything about yourself that you deny, reject, or fail to acknowledge. It is your unspoken desires, your weaknesses, your unfulfilled needs. It contains the anger, envy, fear, and instincts that you've been taught to push away. But ignoring the shadow doesn't make it disappear. It only makes it stronger, controlling you from the background. Jung warned that when we ignore our shadow, it manifests in destructive ways. Self-sabotage, addictions, projection onto others, or an overwhelming feeling of dissatisfaction. He wrote, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." Think about the moments when you've acted in ways that surprised you. An outburst of anger, an irrational fear, a deep resentment towards someone who reflects something you dislike about yourself. That's your shadow at work. But here's the secret. Your shadow isn't your enemy. It's the key to your transformation. Jung believed that by facing the shadow, by bringing it into the light of awareness, we reclaim the energy that was trapped in repression. We become more whole, more powerful, more authentic. Instead of being controlled by hidden fears and insecurities, we integrate them, learning from them and using them as fuel for growth. But how do we do this? How do we confront something that we've spent our entire lives avoiding? Jung suggested several ways. Self-reflection, paying attention to your reactions, triggers, and emotions. What irritates you about others often reveals what you deny in yourself. Journaling, writing down your thoughts, dreams, and unfiltered emotions to uncover patterns that you may not consciously recognize. Dream analysis. Jung believed that dreams are the language of the unconscious. They reveal aspects of ourselves that our waking mind ignores. Creative expression. Art, music, and writing can bring unconscious material to the surface in ways that logic and reasoning cannot. As we begin this process, we start to see that our limitations are often self-imposed. The beliefs we hold about ourselves, what we can or cannot do, are not objective truths, but narratives shaped by past experiences, childhood conditioning, and cultural expectations. And here's where Jung's philosophy takes a radical turn. Once we confront the shadow, we don't just neutralize our fears, we gain access to hidden strengths. Many of the traits we suppress are not just our flaws but our unrealized gifts. Perhaps you were taught that expressing emotion is weak, so you suppress your sensitivity, when in reality that sensitivity is your gift, your ability to connect deeply with others. Perhaps you were discouraged from standing out, so you hid your ambition, when in reality that drive is your power, the source of your greatest achievements. By integrating the shadow, we don't just become aware of our flaws, we reclaim our full potential. We start to break free from the roles we've been playing and step into the truth of who we are. Jung's teachings challenge us to ask, what parts of myself have I buried? What fears control me without my awareness? What untapped potential lies just beyond my self-imposed limitations? True self-actualization isn't about perfection, it's about wholeness. It's about accepting the full range of who you are, light and dark, strength and weakness, logic and emotion. And this is just the beginning, because once we've begun to integrate the shadow, the real transformation starts. Carl Jung's work isn't just about understanding the mind, it's about transformation. He believed that most people live only a fraction of their full potential, trapped by their fears, conditioned behaviors, and an identity shaped by external influences rather than their true essence. The path to unlocking your potential isn't about acquiring more knowledge or skills. It's about peeling away the layers of illusion and discovering what was always there. But to do this, you must first confront the hidden aspects of yourself, the parts of you that have been ignored, suppressed, or rejected. Jung called this individuation, the process of integrating all aspects of the self, both the light and the shadow, into a unified whole. To understand this better, imagine that you are born as a vast, untouched landscape. Over time, society, education, and personal experiences start to construct buildings on this land, shaping how you see yourself. Some areas become grand and visible, your achievements, your strengths, your socially acceptable traits, but others are buried underground, hidden from view. The failures, the suppressed desires, the uncomfortable truths. Jung's work teaches us that to become whole, we must dig into these hidden areas, explore them, and reintegrate what we find into our conscious lives. This journey begins with confronting the shadow, a concept that Jung described as the dark side of our personality. The shadow is made up of everything we have denied or rejected in ourselves: anger, jealousy, insecurity, fear, and even forgotten potential. Society teaches us to suppress these traits, but ignoring them doesn't make them disappear. Instead, they operate in the background, influencing our thoughts, actions, and relationships in ways we don't even realize. Think about the last time you overreacted to something minor. Maybe a comment from a friend or a small inconvenience triggered an outsized emotional response. Jung would say that these moments are key clues to uncovering your shadow. The things that trigger you the most often reveal the aspects of yourself that you have buried. For example, if you feel intense resentment towards someone who is confident and outspoken, it may indicate that you have suppressed your own ability to express yourself. If you feel extreme irritation toward people who seek attention, it might be because you were taught that craving attention is shameful, even though a part of you still longs for recognition. But here's the secret: your shadow isn't just a collection of negative traits, it also holds your unrealized strengths. Within it lie your creativity, your passion, your assertiveness, and all the qualities you've neglected because they didn't fit into the identity you built for yourself. Jung believed that the key to self-discovery was not to eliminate the shadow, but to integrate it, to acknowledge and accept these hidden aspects rather than fight against them. This is what true strength looks like, not perfection, but wholeness. One of the most practical ways to begin integrating your shadow is through self-reflection and radical honesty. Jung encouraged deep introspection through methods like journaling, dream analysis, and active imagination. Writing down your thoughts, especially the ones that make you uncomfortable, allows you to see patterns and understand the deeper emotions that drive your behavior. Pay attention to your dreams, as Jung believed that they are messages from the unconscious mind, revealing insights that your conscious mind may ignore. Another powerful exercise is projection awareness. Have you ever noticed that the qualities you dislike most in others are often things you refuse to acknowledge in yourself? If you find yourself judging someone harshly, pause and ask yourself, what does this say about me? What am I denying in myself that I see reflected in this person? By reversing the direction of your shadow and begin the process of integration, you can uncover aspects of integration. But self-awareness alone isn't enough. Jung emphasized that transformation requires action. Knowing your shadow is one thing, but embracing it means making different choices. It means allowing yourself to express the emotions you once suppressed, speaking up where you once stayed silent, or setting boundaries where you once allowed yourself to be walked over. Or the goal isn't to act on every impulse, but to bring awareness to these hidden parts and consciously decide how to integrate them into your life in a way that serves you. Beyond the shadow, another critical aspect of unlocking your potential is understanding archetypes, the universal patterns of human experience that Jung identified. Just as every story has its hero, mentor, villain, and transformation, our lives are shaped by these same deep-rooted symbols. The archetypes exist within all of us, influencing how we see ourselves and the world. By recognizing them, we gain insight into our patterns, strengths, and weaknesses. One of the most powerful archetypes is the hero, representing the part of us that seeks growth and self-actualization. The hero's journey is present in every great story, from mythology to modern movies, where the protagonist is called to adventure, faces obstacles, undergoes transformation, and ultimately becomes something greater. Recognizing this pattern in your own life can be profoundly motivating. When you reframe challenges as part of your hero's journey, setbacks become lessons rather than failures. Obstacles become essential parts of your growth. Another vital archetype is the wise old sage, the part of you that seeks knowledge, truth, and deeper meaning. It represents your ability to reflect, learn from experience, and cultivate wisdom. In contrast, the trickster embodies the playful, chaotic energy within you, the ability to challenge norms, question authority, and disrupt patterns when necessary. Too often, people suppress their inner trickster out of fear of being seen as rebellious, but this energy is essential for innovation and creativity. By exploring these archetypes, you begin to see how different aspects of yourself are at play in various situations. At times, you may need to embody the hero, stepping into courage and action. Other times, the wise sage may be required, urging patience and reflection. Recognizing which archetypes are dominant in your life and which ones you have neglected can provide valuable insight into what you need to develop to reach your full potential. One of Jung's most profound insights was his belief in the self, the fully realized, integrated version of who you are beyond the ego and its limitations. Most people live in the realm of the ego, identifying with the labels, roles, and personas they've constructed over time. But the journey of individuation, the path to true potential, is about transcending this narrow identity and connecting with the deeper, more authentic self. Jung believed that this process is lifelong. There is no final destination where you have arrived at perfection. Instead, there is continuous evolution, a journey of deeper self-awareness, growth, and integration. The more you align with your true self, the more your external life starts to reflect that inner wholeness. Relationships improve because they are no longer driven by unconscious projections. The creativity flourishes because it is no longer stifled by fear. Decision-making becomes clearer because it is rooted in genuine purpose rather than societal expectations. So, how do you begin this process today? Start by paying attention. Notice your reactions, your judgments, your emotions, especially the ones that make you uncomfortable. Examine your patterns and question where they come from. Engage in practices that bring you closer to your inner world, whether that's journaling, meditation, or exploring creative expression. And most importantly, make peace with the parts of yourself you've rejected. The path to unlocking your true potential isn't about becoming something new. It's about reclaiming who you've always been. Unlocking your true potential isn't about becoming someone else. It's about becoming more yourself. Carl Jung believed that within each of us lies an authentic self, buried beneath layers of conditioning, fear, and societal expectations. The process of individuation, which Jung described as the journey to self-realization, is not an easy one. It requires courage, honesty, and a willingness to face the unknown. But those who dare to embark on this path gain something invaluable: the ability to live with purpose, clarity, and a deep sense of inner fulfillment. Many people assume that self-improvement means getting rid of their flaws, but Jung argued the opposite. True growth comes from integrating all parts of yourself, not rejecting them. This means acknowledging your shadow and using it as a source of power rather than allowing it to control you unconsciously. The next time you feel an intense emotional reaction, whether it's anger, jealousy, insecurity, or fear, pause and reflect. Instead of blaming external circumstances, ask yourself what part of you is being triggered. Is this revealing something you've denied in yourself? How can this awareness be used for growth? For example, if you find yourself constantly frustrated by arrogant people, it may be because you've suppressed your own confidence, fearing that it would make you seem egotistical. Instead of resenting those who express confidence, you can recognize this as a sign that you need to cultivate healthy self-assurance in your own life. Jung's concept of archetypes teaches us that we have different energies within us waiting to be activated. The challenge is to recognize which archetypes are currently dominant in your life and which ones you need to develop. If you're stuck in a cycle of inaction or fear, you may need to embrace the hero archetype, stepping into courage and taking risks. If you're constantly striving but feel disconnected from meaning, you might need the wise sage, engaging in deep reflection and finding wisdom in your experiences. If your life feels rigid or uninspired, your trickster may be asleep. You may need to bring back playfulness, creativity, and the willingness to challenge convention. A practical way to apply this is through self-experimentation. If you tend to avoid confrontation, challenge yourself to embody the warrior for a day and set clear boundaries. If you struggle with creativity, let the trickster take over. Explore, make mistakes, and embrace unpredictability. By consciously engaging different archetypes, you develop a more complete and flexible personality. Jung believed that the unconscious mind is the key to transformation. Most people live disconnected from this deeper intelligence, relying only on their rational minds to make decisions. But true potential is unlocked when you learn to tap into your intuition, dreams, and subconscious insights. To reconnect with this deeper part of yourself, Jung recommended dream journaling. Since dreams are direct messages from the unconscious mind, keeping a journal helps you decode recurring symbols and themes, revealing hidden desires, fears, and patterns. Another method is practicing meditation or visualization, quieting the rational mind to allow deeper insights to emerge. Simply sitting in silence or visualizing a question you need an answer to can unlock subconscious wisdom. Jung also believed in paying attention to synchronicities, meaningful coincidences that may be guiding you toward growth. When life presents an unexpected opportunity, challenge, or repeated symbol, don't dismiss it. Ask what it might be trying to show you. The more you listen to your unconscious mind, the more aligned your external life becomes with your true inner self. Perhaps the hardest part of individuation is shedding the false identity that society, family, or even your past self has built. Most people wear masks, trying to be the successful one, the nice one, the strong one, without ever questioning if these roles truly serve them. Jung warned that identifying too much with your persona, the version of yourself that you present to the world, can trap you in a life that isn't authentic. He urged people to question who they are without the expectations of others. What do you truly desire, beyond what you've been told to want? What would you pursue if you had nothing to prove? Letting go of the false self can feel like a death, but it is only the death of what was never truly you. When you release these illusions, you free yourself to become who you were always meant to be. Unlike conventional ideas of success, individuation isn't about achieving more, it's about aligning your life with who you really are. This means making choices based on intuition, not just logic. It means saying no to things that don't resonate with your deeper values. It means pursuing work, relationships, and experiences that feel meaningful, rather than just socially acceptable. This is the final step in unlocking your true potential, not through external achievement, but through deep inner alignment. When you live in harmony with your authentic self, you no longer feel the need to chase validation or force success. Instead, success flows naturally because you are finally living as you were meant to. Carl Jung's teachings reveal a truth that many people spend their entire lives avoiding. The greatest journey you will ever take is the journey inward. It is the path of self-discovery, the confrontation with your shadow, and the realization of your true self. This journey is not easy. It requires courage to face what you've ignored, humility to accept what you don't yet understand, and resilience to keep going even when it feels uncomfortable. But the reward is profound, a life of authenticity, depth, and self-mastery. So ask yourself, what aspects of yourself have you been avoiding? What masks are you still wearing? How can you take one step today toward your true potential? Jung reminds us that until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. But the moment you choose awareness, you reclaim your power. Your life is waiting. Your true self is waiting. The only question left is, are you ready to step into it?